Hey, high performance golfers, are you someone that loves to grind? Do you consider yourself somebody that grinds when you're out there, whether it's in a tournament and you finish and like maybe it's not the best day, but you're like, man, I grinded out there. Or maybe it's some practice, right? Leading up to an event, or just your weekly practice that you're doing, your routine practice, and like, man, you just share with your buddies and your people you practice with, like, man, I was grinding this week. Man, I don't know what it is. I'm just grinding this week, right? Are you that person, right? I'm here to tell you, if you are, right, everybody who's achieving big things are grinding it out there. But there's two ways that you can be grinding it. One way is the way that, you know, it's tiring. It's like you're pushing, it's like torture pushing yourself through this stuff, right? When you make it out and you get to where you want to get to, you're pretty much the same place that you left off, right? And if you're any further, you're like barely even noticeable, and you're just so excited that like you made it through. Versus, right, the other way, the way the best in the world do it is, man, they're excited about it, right? They're doing the work, they're putting in the time, but when they get out the other end, they are so much further ahead than before, right? If you grind a lot, you've probably experienced both ways. You've experienced the ways that, you experienced the ways that like you actually got better. And you've also experienced the ways that, like the days that you grind it out and like after you do it for like a week or a couple weeks, man, you feel like you got to hang it up and take a break, right? That is not the successful way to do it, right? As I explained to you, like there's two ways, right? I'm gonna share with you, how do you know you're doing it the right way, right? And it all comes down to what you believe yourself to be. Like, who do you believe yourself to be? It's your belief system that allows you to grind the correct way, to grind it the way the best players in the world do it, right? If you're the person that needs proof, if you're the golfer that needs proof before you actually believe it, then you're grinding it the wrong way, right? If you've ever been stuck at the threshold of breaking 80, right, and you're shooting 81, 82, 80, and you've even had numerous rounds coming in like under like 5 over par, 4 over par, right, 6 over par, coming the last couple holes, and then you blow it on the last hole, right? But so many opportunities, and you're just stuck there for so long, and then like 80. And then you finally shoot 79, and then it's like you've been there forever. It's like you don't leave the 70s now. Then you shoot 78, 77, like you barely shoot in the 80s. Like, have you been there before? Right? That's doing it the wrong way, because it's like, think about how much struggle, how much like heartache, frustration that led up to that one threshold for you to get through. Right? Couldn't have been done sooner. Right? Imagine now if you, right, what would happen if you already knew it was going to be true? Like, what if you knew, like, man, I'm already a 70 shooter? Like, what if you knew that was true and you believed it all the way down to your heart and your soul, and that's part of who you are? Like, man, the things that I'm doing, that's exactly aligned with somebody that breaks 80, right? Could you have gotten there faster with the time that you invested in, the grinding that you put in, with things that weren't going as well, or all the time, all the investing that you've been putting in? Would that have been more enjoyable, right? Because you knew all you were doing is filling the gap of where you needed to be, because you knew you were there, and then doing it, right? You see, that is what the best players in the world do, right? Like, you look at Tiger, you look at DJ, Rory, right, Jordan Spieth, like those guys, like all the events and tournaments, like, and what they've accomplished, like they knew this in advance. They knew they were going to do it before it even came true, right? If you talk to them, right, the conversations would be far different. Like, they would have already known they were going to do it, and all they were doing is learning the skills, learning what's required, and then executing it. When you know it's going to happen, can you see how much faster you will go? And not just faster, could you see how much more enjoyable it was going to be, right? If you knew all you had to do was this and you'd be there, right? It would be life-changing, right? So look back at the times, like, how are you grinding it out, right? Are you struggling? Are you like frustrated? Are you like needing to take a break when you make it on the other side? Are you not moving that very far once you get out of that rut, right? It all comes down to what you believe to be true, right? What are you telling yourself? What are the things, what are the stories that you're telling yourself every day, right, that is keeping you where you're at, right? And where you're waiting for the good shots, when you're waiting for proof. If you are waiting for proof, that is the long route. And if you're waiting for proof, there's going to be a part and a time that you'll never get the proof. You'll never get the validation from the results, because your threshold to hold on and push it there just is impossible to sustain, right? So how do you win this game? How do you grind it out and get massive results, massive acceleration, but also enjoy the process as you do it? Like, be excited about grinding it, because grinding is just part of the game. It's part of getting better, right? What can you do today to start to shift your belief about yourself? Who do you need to see yourself as? And truly remind yourself and do the things that align with that person, right? If you are not seeing yourself as who you need to become, right, and you're seeing yourself for who you are today, right, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it the slow way, right? If you're looking to win, your first tournament, right, on tour, or your first tournament professionally, your first tournament as a junior, your first tournament, right, wherever you're playing, like, do you see yourself doing it already, and to the the bottom of your heart and soul, that you truly believe that you are that person that's going to be winning, that you're going to be posting the scores, right? And again, like, the easiest way to check is like, what happens when things go wrong? Like, when you don't hit it well, are you the person that says like, man, I knew I couldn't do it, or I'm not sure if I could, I got to go practice to get myself back to where I was, right? If you're having those conversations, right, then you don't truly believe like it's going to happen, and you're waiting for proof. Don't wait for proof, right? You are the proof. You are the leader. You are the one that's going to set it up for yourself. And if you can do that, right, shape your belief system to be so unshakable that regardless if, right, regardless if you miss a putt, miss a chip, right, there's just nothing about it, right? We hear the best players in the world say, like, just don't think about it, like, just shake that off, right? It's easy for them to shake it off because they already know it's not them that misses it. The person that they are is somebody totally different, right? If you miss, right, a 2-foot putt, and then all of a sudden you say, I got the yips, and I got to go practice, or you chunk a chip, and now you're like thinking mechanics, and you're thinking like working on your swing and your motion out on the golf course, right? Then you truly don't believe that you belong and that you're ready. And you're always going to be chasing it, and you're always going to be struggling, and you're always going to be having a hard time, right? It's like if you were going out and walking to your car right now, and you went and tripped on something on the road to your car, right? What's going to happen? Like, you don't question how you walk. You don't look at your feet, and you don't think like start to walk better, right? You just see like, oh, something must be in the way, and you're more cautious of what's in the way, right? So, right, that's because your belief knows it's true that you know how to walk. On the other hand, my 3-year-old daughter, when she wears her bulky, heavy shoes and she trips on some toys, like, she's looking down at her feet, right? She doesn't truly believe that she can walk because she hasn't done it long enough, right? And so how can you anchor in the belief so strong that even when things are rough, even when things are hard, you still go through the motion, you still do it, you still get the results, but you're not fighting yourself, you're not pushing yourself, torturing yourself to get there? That is just part of the path, it's part of the journey, right? It comes down to one thing and one thing only. It is your belief, and how you believe, and how you see yourself. Like, who are you being, and who do you need to become to get the results that you truly want? Go ahead, everyone, and shift your belief. What can you do? How are you seeing yourself? What do you believe yourself to be true? Go ahead and create that belief system about yourself. And then you will find the path is so much smoother, acceleration is so much faster, and is so much more fulfilling. All right, everybody, you guys take care.